Coming up in NewsNight, the National Voters Register getting an intensive cleanup. The Youth Entrepreneurship Programme to go regional. And in sports, Barbados among the medals at the Commonwealth Rowing Beach Sprint Championships.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening with NewsNight. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. The St. Joseph branch of the Barbados Labour Party has unanimously nominated Ryan Brathwaite as the new candidate to contest the next general election. The process took place just over an hour ago at the Grantley Adams Memorial School. Mr. Brathwaite was the only person seeking nomination. Speaking after his nomination, Mr. Brathwaite says he plans to be a candidate that will always be available to his constituents.
It was 15 years ago, in the St. John by-election, that Dale whispered to me, I want you to consider elective politics. And from that day until now, I have enjoyed his unwavering support and encouragement. And as he prepares to pass the baton today, because I'm an athlete, I know how to take a baton. And let me tell you something, I don't drop batons neither. I am committed and ready to continue the work.
Outgoing Member of Parliament for the constituency, Attorney General Dale Marshall, thanked the constituents of St. Joseph for their unwavering support during his tenure as their MP.
I hope sincerely that you have no regrets having had me as your MP. I certainly have no regrets having been your MP. And I leave you with just this. When I came to St. Joseph, I found constituents. I leave St. Joseph with friends.
For the first time in more than 3 decades, the Electoral and Boundaries Commission is undertaking what it calls the most intensive cleanup of the National Voters Register. Months of field work, late nights, and island-wide enumeration have now reached their final stage, removing thousands of names that lawfully should no longer be on the list. The Commission gave an update during a press conference this morning. Deanza Roberts was there.
Chairman of the Commission, King's Counsel Ramon Aline, says the process began in August and the findings are of concern. He says they stand on their promise to give this country the cleanest voters list in a long time. He gave an update on the exercise.
We would have started an enumeration exercise in August of this year. It would have ran until September, where our officers would have been on the streets visiting and making the effort to visit every household in the island, to determine that who are the voters, where are they located, the appropriate addresses. Obviously, it's a large undertaking. We not only included staff, but included postal workers who obviously would know the lay of the land. That process would have been completed, and thereafter we would have opened registration centers and issued circulars again to every household, asking persons who view themselves as potential voters to come in, ensure, check our website, make sure that they were on the voters list, confirm that they were in the right constituency and in the right polling district.
Now, after months of verification, the Commission has identified names to be removed, those who are deceased and others who are living overseas for more than 5 years.
These are substantive numbers. 4,923 who are overseas and 3,368 who are deceased.
He says the names found of persons living overseas or deceased will be posted online, giving the public a final opportunity to point out errors before deletions become permanent.
Now let me make it very clear. No one is going to be deleted off of the voters list because they did not see an enumerator. That is not the process. We are still asking persons who might not have seen an enumerator to make an effort at least to go to our website, ebc.gov.bb, and check their status and make sure that they are correctly listed in all facets. But what we have discovered is that a number of persons who we now can confirm to be deceased or persons who have been off island for more than 5 years continuously should be taken off the register as is required by statute.
The voters list as at January 2025 was 260,000. Aline says while the deletions represent a small percentage, the Commission insists accuracy is critical, especially ahead of any future election. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith says they're looking to export the Youth Entrepreneurship Programme regionally. Speaking today at a pop-up event at the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation's $20 Challenge, Minister Griffith made it known that there are plans in place to offer the programme to other regional countries. Our reporter Akeem Klinkett was there and has the story.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith has commended the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation for encouraging children to take interest in building their own business. He said the program has aided in identifying children who join the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, which shows positive signs for the country. Minister Griffith believes that the government is walking in the right direction and they are now looking to export the YES program regionally.
The Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme now, we have just partnered with UWI Global to certify our training program. So it is not just a case of being able to train them, but we're now saying that there's a certificate attached to this that can tell people I'm qualified to do whatever it is that I'm offering you. So we believe that we're moving in the right direction as a government in terms of how we're treating to this. I've also asked the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme to look in the region to offer our program to other youth departments within the region, and we're actively looking to do that.
Minister Griffith also said that service will always remain the pinnacle of business and that he has realized that sometimes some of the youth had good products, but they are not always able to penetrate the market. He has asked the youth to also focus on marketing to get their products out there.
Whenever I speak to our new cohort, one of the things that I emphasize all the time is service, service, service. I think it is the bedrock of entrepreneurship, is the bedrock of any business that want to be successful. Service, how you treat to the customers. The other thing is marketing. I find that there are some of the youngsters who have fantastic products, but in terms of getting it out there to individuals, the marketing is one of those areas that I think they need to boost, but primarily service.
Minister of Energy and Business Development, Senator Lisa Cummins, says she's happy that children are now seeing different avenues and trying to capitalize on ways on how to be successful.
One of the days where you went to school, you got an education, and you got a job and you worked in that job for the rest of your life. This is a generation, and certainly in my own ministry, what we're seeing is that a lot of entrepreneurs, they start in the school environment. They may have a job full time, but they also have businesses online, and they don't have just one business. They may have 2 or 3 businesses that they're running. Back in the day, you used to call that just a hustle. Now, these young people are formalizing it, and with the support of institutions like the Entrepreneurship Foundation, like National Financial Literacy Program, which is embedded in all of the schools. We now have the National Financial Literacy Program, which is also encouraging entrepreneurship in 90 schools, primary, secondary, special needs, youth advanced core. They've spread it out so that our kids understand that this is a viable pathway for them, whatever else they are doing, and it's a positive thing.
The program is in its 14th cycle, and officials say it is the biggest since COVID, incorporating 16 schools with 160 businesses being registered. Akeem Klinkett, CBC News.
Coming up, a landmark institution in the Pine is renamed. From Princess Royal Avenue to Meadow Road to Map Hill to Parkinson Field, Delal Bradshaw has touched the heart and soul of the St. Michael Southeast constituency, which he served faithfully. And to honor him, the Parkinson Resource Centre has been renamed after him. Rachel Agard has that story.
The Parkinson Resource Centre now bears a new name, that of Delal Bradshaw. The honour came following a move by former Minister of Social Transformation, Hamilton Lashley, who said it was a necessity given Mr. Bradshaw's contribution to the community. Deputy Prime Minister and a Member of Parliament for St. Michael South East, Santia Bradshaw, who is also the daughter of Delisle Bradshaw, says the honor is touching for the entire family because it came directly from the people.
And you can never understand what that means for us, because when you serve the people and the honor comes from the people, and Prime Minister, this is not to say that your honor did not mean something, but rather to say that in addition to the honor that you bestowed on him before, that this one is particularly significant because it came from the bosom of St. Michael's Southeast. And for that, I want to say thank you to the people of St. Michael's Southeast constituency for the sincerity and the love that you have bestowed on him, and certainly all of the blessings that continue to flow by the relationships.
Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley hails Mr. Bradshaw as a teacher and a mentor, which she says he has carried throughout his life. She stresses that he has left an indelible mark on all those whom he has interacted with.
Even now, the wisdom that flows from you, the lessons, the experiences, only serve to enhance our ability to make the right decisions against the backdrop of all of the facts. For you to have presided, not just here in St. Michael's Southeast, as a minister with a proud record in housing, community development, sport, the tangible outputs are there for us to see in these physical buildings. What is less of immediate sight for us is the people.
Delisle Bradshaw served St. Michael's Southeast as a parliamentarian for 13 years. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Police are seeking the public's assistance in locating Peter McFarren Rouse, who's wanted for questioning in connection with serious criminal matters. Rouse, whose last known address is number 26 Grisette's New Road, St. Michael, is approximately 5 feet 11 inches in height, has a brown complexion and is medium built. Peter McFarren Rouse has advised that he can present himself to the Criminal Investigations Department at the Black Rock Police Station, accompanied by an attorney at law of his choice. Time to take a look at sports now. Barbados secured 2 medals early on the final day of the Commonwealth Rowing Association Beach Sprint Championships. Competing at Browns Beach today, Barbadians Theodore Spieler won silver and John Luke Wiggins took the bronze in the under-19 men's solo races. Meanwhile, there were also some keen competition among the ladies' solo races. CBC's Damien Best was there.
Brilliant sunshine for the day's action. We're just in time for the women's solo quarter-final clash in this beach sprint. Athlete closest to the screen is Bass Andre of England in red and white versus Lucy McLeod of Canada. It's a 500-meter course in total with 2 virtual lanes. The rowers sprint to their boats, and as you can see, each team can have up to 2 handlers who assist on the water's edge. Andre and McLeod moving swiftly, heading out to and past the 2 yellow buoys before rounding the red one and returning to shore. This is where the body is under the most strain. And McLeod of Canada had a slight edge, but her legs gave out. And that downfall paving the way for Bass to jump out and sprint across the start-finish line in 2 minutes, 53.51 seconds for the win. McLeod stopping the clock in 2 minutes, 56.31. Another quarterfinal clash that piqued the interest of many. Natasha Searson of Jersey in the red trim battling Kathleen Noble of Uganda. There's still a level of coordination required in the sport, with the handlers on the shore giving directional signals. Fast forward to the home stretch, less than 50 meters to go. Searson of Jersey first out of the water, showing great stamina, crossing the line in 2 minutes, 51.37 seconds. Noble of Uganda composed herself enough to sprint to the end in 2 minutes, 57.83. Once the quarters and semis were completed, it was time for the women's solo final. Searson of Jersey back in action up against Elizabeth Newell of Australia in the black. After the
15-meter sprint to the water's edge. It was all power. The two sculls, or what we call oars, slicing through the water. And after the turn, you could see that Newell had that finish line on her mind. A 5-meter lead, giving her a buffer once she exits the boat. Newell, the women's champion, gets gold in 2 minutes 43.48. Searson of Jersey, a commendable silver medal, 2 minutes 48.51.
Well, I knew it was going to be a tough race, so I just kind of wanted to leave everything out there and really just go for it from the start. So kind of just leave nothing in the tank was the strategy, because there's lots of good racing and competition here, so it was fun.
Damien Best, CBC Sports.
The 2025 Barbados Invitational Independence Games Big Beach Festival officially got underway last evening with the opening ceremony at Brandon's. Under the theme Gathering Upon the Beach, the festival forms a part of the We Gathering St. Michael celebrations, and over the next 3 days, athletes will compete in beach games across 11 disciplines. MP for the St. Michael Northwest constituency, Neil Rowe, noted that with several regional teams participating, the games not only showcase the talent of young athletes, but also builds on a proud local tradition.
This international participation positions St. Michael as a leader in sports tourism, showcasing Barbados as a hub of athletic excellence and community spirit. A day of recreation at the beach, a Sunday, brings back memories of playing football, volleyball, cricket on the beach. Is a perfect example of this beach festival. Big builds on our cherished traditions.
With one more round to go, top Barbadian golfer Emily Ordway sits in second, trailing by just one at the Women's Amateur Latin America Golf Championships in Mexico. Ordway, who started today, joined second after carding 70s on the first and second days, ended today with a 69 for a total 209. She remains in the hunt for the win as she's just one off leader Colombia's Maria Jose Marin, who ended today 8 on the par for a total of 208. Now, Barbados men rebounded nicely on day 2 to book a semi-final spot at the Rugby America's North Sevens tournament in Trinidad and Tobago. The Bajan men crushed Bermuda 21-7 and then hammered Guyana 36-5 to move into the semis. However, the women didn't fare any better after a rough opening day, losing 10-5 to Guyana and then 35-10 to Mexico. And Barbados' hopes of pushing into the medal rounds at the Norseca Continental Under-17 Volleyball Championships in Nicaragua ended last night after a straight sets loss to Mexico. The young Bajans found the Mexicans a step too sharp in the crucial quarterfinal matchup to lose 19-25, 20-25, 16-25. Despite this, there were valiant efforts from Jordan John with 10 kills and Captain Pierre Gill, who backed up with 8. With the defeat, Barbados now shifts into the classification playoff for 5th to 8th place, where they will face the Dominican Republic. And that's our news. Thank you for joining us, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.